Well, with children, probably all children go through the same process. Parents can't stop children from going after what they're interested in. And I suppose that nature can't stop us from going after what we're interested in. So the lessons come, and the lessons that are going to be learned are around how do we get along with each other? How do we treat the planet? What's the quality of life that we're experiencing? And is it going to be sustainable for other, future generations? I mean, we have a responsibility to not only take care of our children and ourselves, but to leave the planet maybe a better than we found it. And so, for me, part of that process is that we have to be able to consider the others involved and not just ourselves.
What others?
Well, I mean, if we look at television and we go after, the normal commercials, it's all about you.
Me, myself, I.
Exactly. And that can only go so far. And when we really step back and take a bigger picture of, where we've been and learn some lessons from where we've been, that's how we grow. That's how we mature. That's how we evolve. And so maybe what's in our future is some lessons that are going to teach us in a dynamic way about, what works and what doesn't work in terms of not only personally, but for the population and for the planet.
Do you think there is some sort of warning going on here to the human race?
Yeah, I sense that the global warning, that's what that's about. I mean, even whether it's true or not, as they're perceiving it to be, certainly it is a warning, isn't it? Global warming, the discussion of global warming, isn't that a warning? And so, do people heed the warning? And what happens if you don't heed the warning? That's when the big lessons come. And I don't see that humanity's any different than children learning. We as a humanity are learning. And eventually we're going to have to figure it out, that there might be a better way of going about it.
Figure what out?
Well, that a system that's built on poverty, where 85% of the population lives at a poverty level, where countries decide that they're going to, decide, their conflicts by nuclear activity. I mean, that's not a very intelligent way of going about it. And so if we haven't learned from World War I or World War II, and if we're still solving things with the same mentality, it's not going to resolve it. We have to pick a completely different way to solve these problems. And maybe that's what nature is moving us towards, giving us an impetus.
So you think that if there's a disaster, it's almost like we're getting a warning. Are you ready? Have you got it?
Yeah. And along with the disasters, there's also, shifts that are happening within people personally. There's shifts that are happening, from past experiences that are like over in Iraq. There's a lot of experience that's come out of that's changed people's lives. And so people are evolving. Hopefully the population is evolving. And as we evolve, maybe Earth is kind of like a school. We're moving from middle school to high school to college to university. And maybe we're being moved that way, and that we are meant to be evolving through all these processes. And through these processes, we're learning and we're making choices that improve the potential for the future.